With the GPs?
Yeah, in terms of...
Well, one thing you can do is, first of all, look at where, if you get a map and see where they are physically, and target those GPs and approach the GPs in affluent areas is a good start.
When you say promote them, what do you do? Just
approach, I mean.
Approach, it's the how, but I'm sort of unsure about what to do. To turn up and speak to the practice manager, send them a letter to
I'd get in touch with the GP, yeah. So the chances are you'll know one or two of the names.
Yeah.
So start with the people you know and say, listen, I'm looking to get a bit more out there in front of you guys. You know, I know there's problem patients out there you find difficult to deal with. There's a lot of stuff, referrals that are coming through. I want to help you with those problem patients. I want to get known a bit more. Let's go out for coffee. And you'll start with the people you know, and then you talk to them and say, look, what are the problems? What is it I can help you guys with? Can you introduce me to some of your friends? Because I'd like to grow my private practice, and I'd like to help you along the way as well. Just keep it simple. Another thing you could do is, if you've written an e-book about a problem, a published book, you can give that to them and say and if it's problem patient sort of stuff, next time you see somebody with non-organic abdominal pain or recurrent headaches that have been investigated and nothing is cause found, you can give them this book.
Is it quite easy to make an e-book?
An e-book is like a Word document. It's a PDF. An e-book is no effort at all. To actually publish a physical book is very, very easy as well, because you create it in a Word document, a PDF. You can send that to a publishing house, of which there are billions around, and they'll do you a run of, if you imagine it's 20, we're not talking a big book here, it's 20 or 30 or 40 pages. And if you've got something like this that the GP can hand out, they've got a little stack of them there for non-specific abdominal pain. It's got your name and contact details splattered all over it, how the patient can get in touch with you, and it's Jim Smith's book anyway, so he can't help but know your name, and you've given him a solution to their problem. I mean, you're covering all the bases, aren't you? And again, you're reusing and recycling the content that we talked about. Now, the slight difference, of course, is that you may or may not be targeting these problem patients on your website. So you may or may not have that content already created for your website, but you can create it easily in exactly the same way as we talked about. Get that published very, very easily into a small, slim book. We're not talking something complicated, and we're talking a glorified patient information leaflet. It comes out as there's no book here, so it comes out as a proper book. Yeah. Just send them over. Start with your friends, people say, listen, just give that away freely to anyone you think might benefit from it. They can't help but get to know your name.
Or do the e-book, give it to your mates or GPs or patients and see what
Well, it's a proper physical book.
Yeah.
Or you can tell them, look, go, direct them to my website. Or you can say, look, I've got a page on my website about exactly how to deal with these, just for DPs or something. You can direct them to whatever resource you want. But that means they've got to think about it a bit harder. Far better if they've got a little pile of books there they can just give out.
One of my colleagues he's got a bit on his website which is for GPs basically, and it's basically how to inject the knee joint. It gives them the concentration, which because they can't remember whether it's Kenalog or Depomed, it doesn't really matter. Is what size knees are the green one, is the blue one?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a reasonable thing to do?
It is. The question is there a need?
Is there a need? Yeah.
If there is a need for it, if they're genuinely going to benefit from it, I mean, the chances are I would have thought that if somebody needs a knee joint injector, they'll send it in. I would have thought. You will know.
No, the GPs.
They'll either send it to you or a rheumatologist.
Yeah, okay.
But so if it's on the assumption that there's a genuine need for that, they need to know that, then they'll use it. They'll access that information, and it will be of help. And you could even give them a little sticker to put up on their wall, like knee joint injections, and a little URL, so they don't have to remember it. The key is to be seen to be helping them and to stay front of mind.
Yeah.
And there are many ways of doing it. GP meetings is only part of it. And GP meetings could be in a meeting like this, where you're talking about, latest intraocular lenses, or developments in managing an elevated PSA. I mean, that's got to be a big thing to talk about, surely. Or it could be popping around the practice, having a quick coffee with lunch, then bring some sandwiches or something along and have a nice sit down for lunch or something that you've pre-arranged.
Because GPs are very busy now, aren't they? It's not easy to...
There is, we're all busy. They're busy, of course they're busy. We've all got
It's quite
problems and
disheartening.
problem patients.
Sometimes you go there, you get the meeting, you'll get one GP and all nurses and receptionists will be sat there having the sandwiches.
Yeah.
And you've taken bloody annual leave.
But the
and what's in it
receptionist
for you?
might be the ones who refer you the patients, so he might direct the thing to you. So probably still worth it.
The question is, where is the patient coming from? Who's making the phone? That's a very, very useful point.
I sometimes go to the clinic offices in my private hospital and I chat with them and see where the lie is. And they told me that for the urology, most of the referrals are named referrals. They said we have very few unnamed referrals, which surprised me a bit, but that's what they said.
You, Paul, could be doing this for the physios.
Yeah, I need to.
Could be doing this for the
I've done
optoms.
some, but I haven't direct. The physios would be very receptive because they'd love for you to do it.
You could be doing this for the practice nurses who are following up
Heart failure.
Doris with her heart failure.
And what about me?
You could be doing to the GPs. I mean, the big question is management of an elevated PSA is the obvious thing. I'm not a urologist, so I don't know. You will know the top 5, sort of 3, 4, 5 problems in urology. But managing an elevated PSA, managing the worried well person.
So for me, it's mainly GPs. There's nothing like these guys in physio, optometrists.
Who runs your TWOC clinics? Are nurse practitioners or practice nurses? Who looks after the community catheters? There must be shitloads of people with catheters who need some help.
Continence too.
But
Are they community based or are they
take them out for a nice meal and tell them about stuff.
Yeah.
I bet if I wrote to all the practice nurses, they're not going to get any mail, really. Writing to say, do you want an educational? They'll be falling over
Practice
themselves.
nurses do refer. They can
Right.
refer to our
And that the problem there, you see, this comes back to optoms with you. The optoms feel like second-class citizens, looked down by the snotty doctors. Nurses feel the same way. So if nurses are responsible in any way or have any influence about sending patients to you, I'm sure they do. It's like Doris is, so speak to the GP. Doris is struggling a bit. I wonder if she ought to be seen by the cardiologist. I mean, if they're able to make a direct referral to you, I don't know if they are able to. If they are able to do so and they get to know you, they'll think, you're a decent chap, let's do it.
I get referrals
And if
from
they've got a pile of books in their room, I think that's probably the...
Yeah, and the
That's
book, but the book could be to help the nurse to manage it, rather than help the patient to manage it. Because the book we talked about earlier is to give to the patient with non-specific abdominal pain or headaches, for example. Yeah, so it's sort of here. Look, there's nothing wrong. Not